What's up, guys? Welcome to Team Fortress TV 2. We got a little bit of a dual stream action going on tonight because we have two different games, Prem officials going on at the same time. And on this channel, we're going to be covering the Bustaz versus SVIFT. Tonight, you have me, HiipFire, casting, and my co-caster will be Twiggy.
Hello.
We also have Beater on production. So this is an interesting little game. We're going to see the debut of the new SVIFT roster. SVIFT being the team that attended I-61 and got second. And after LAN, they had to pick up some new players since Ast he wasn't going to keep playing. He was just there to play at I-61. And Raptor, I'm not exactly sure what happened to Raptor, but...
Give us your guess. Come on.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna mention that out loud. But I think either either from the team's perspective or Raptor didn't want to keep playing either on the team or in general. So Raptor left / got dropped. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but he plays on Antic now, and they had to pick up some new players, and they ended up picking up Polygon, Pocket from Ascent, and they picked up Babs as well. They also lost Banny, obviously the NA Pocket, because he's not going to play on 120 ping for the rest of his life. That sounds pretty horrible. So Tiger is playing with him, and it remains to be seen how good this lineup is going to be, because the Ascent players they picked up aren't exactly the star players. They didn't pick up Kradu or Elocore. They picked up Polygon and Babs, and while Babs was a pretty decent medic at I-61, Polygon definitely wasn't the best pocket there, but we'll see what happens. Tiger is kind of nutty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have Tiger with like the British clockwork these days, so maybe that will be enough for them to come out on top. I don't think that Babs and Polygon are that bad. You are a little bit harsh with them, maybe.
Well, I mean,
I think they will put up a good match.
Yeah, it's not that they're bad. It's more that like they have pretty big shoes to fill. Like they're filling the shoes of Banny, Ast, and then Raptor. I mean, I think that Raptor's a pretty decent medic at I-61, but some people might disagree with that. But it's big shoes to fill. Ast was definitely like the best scout. A really strong scout at I-61, and so is Banny with Pockets. So.
I see your point.
Yeah.
In these conditions, it's good that they start the season against an opponent that they may be able to beat, even though they didn't get that much practice together. Which is the second Nunya roster, the Bustaz.
Oh, the Bustaz. Want to tell the people what the Bustaz roster is?
Yep, the Bustaz is composed of Chris and Papi as soldiers, Hems and Crafty Dave as scouts. Lucas is merking, it's usually Rat Slayer, if I'm not mistaken, that plays demo for this team. And I don't see who the medic is yet. Let me check. Who is their medic even?
It is Degu. His name is a little bit cut off.
Medic.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, they got pretty good results during the playoffs. I think they have the potential to not finish last this season, but can they beat SVIFT, who are arguably on paper still the team that reached the finals of I-61? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, this is at least part of the Nunya roster we saw last season. We're seeing Pappy and Crafty Dave playing. We've seen Hems before in season 26 play for Nunya as well. And then we have, Lucas is definitely a newcomer, and they have Chris and Daegu. Daegu haven't played Prem before as well, and Chris has been like kind of a player we've seen around. We've seen him attend LANs. He won GA with that Brit mix, and he also attended I-61 playing on that little Nunya mix team. with like Skyper and Alba and Pappy and Condog and such. So we've seen these players around, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see, you know, this new roster, because they've kind of just stuck around with the same roster last season and the season before that. So this is like the first like kind of real roster shakeup we've seen. So maybe this will be the change they need, but it seems like we're going into the first mid. Both teams have readied up, and well, we're gonna see what's happening right now. I'm gonna look at Ali right now, the star demo, who beefs his rollout a little bit. Needs to get an arrow and choke. Both Chris and Lucas arriving a little bit earlier than Ali did. Getting spammed up a lot, actually. This is gonna keep SVIFT a bit passive for this mid. The first frag will go to the choke busters. Pappy getting that first frag onto the scout. You're trying to push over the PC area. People trying to get onto that high ground, but they're not really pushing over it. Yeah, that's a great flank from Salentis, getting Pappy really weak, and gets Daegu as well, and Crafty, and everyone else just collapsing onto the choke busters, and this is going to be a 1 mid for SVIFT.
Pretty interesting play by the choke busters at the start. They were very well coordinated and grouped in front of the half pack. I feel like Salentis got very lucky to kill Daegu there. That the Nunia boys' strategy was decent, and now they are forced to hold their last against a full Uber charge. The choice is to build a sentry gun on the left-hand side door. Where is the sticky trap of Lucas? I can't quite see. I'm not even sure he has one. Yes, it's on the point. And the Uber is popped very early by the red boys. They will get the sentry gun. But the position for the Nunia squad is actually pretty decent. They have players on both spawns doors and players on the high ground. And SVIFT lost 2, maybe 3. Can Samzi kill Lucas? No, he cannot. Lucas dies to the late sticky of Ale. I know it's a 2-on-2 situation, but the spawns are going to come for the choke busters, and they hold.
Ooh, that was pretty scary. Salentis got in really late and that push and killed like most of the combo, but as you said, the spawners then came in and saved them. So choke busters on second. They do have Uber advantage, and yeah, the Tiger sniper. I definitely am curious to see this. I haven't actually seen a lot of him sniping. Sees Chris, hits or misses the shot, tries to go for it, but 30% ad now for the choke busters, and I think SVIFT seems to be holding pretty passively in response or as a reaction to that, and we'll be waiting for the choke busters push soon.
Yep. I'm not sure that Daegu knows he has a 30% Uber advantage, but in any case, using it is going to be very difficult against the Tiger sniper. Do you remember the play Tiger did against, I believe it was 7 on this map?
Oh yeah.
Where he was basically spawn camping the medic Raymond 3 times in a row from behind. I'm sure the choke busters are going to show him respect. Not only because of this play, but because he's like good in general.
Yeah,
and yes, they are not moving. They are not moving to use their Uber advantage. It's understandable. 0-0. No need to take big risks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with the sniper already being up, it is definitely a bit risky. If you get forced too early, then your Uber is completely useless and you can't do anything. So, I mean, they're weighing the risks and they decide against it. Pappy a little bit aggressive in choke actually on top of the boxes. That series is going to get cleaned up. It's going to allow SVIFT to get Tiger some more space, maybe able to get a better angle onto Daegu here. He's actually holding very fast
instead. And yeah, the position is very good for SVIFT.
So close onto Daegu. He gets a headshot onto Hems though. And Daegu's just standing there, and Tiger is almost able to get a headshot there. Daegu gets forced, and this is a really bad Uber. They got popped so far away. Babs is doing a great job of milking this. Hems not doing a good job of actually getting any shots onto Babs, and now SVIFT is going to get free entry into the second point. We do have Crafty still in, but he's going to back out as well, and choke busters, no force, are on last.
Yep, and they have very little time to build the sentry gun. Crafty Dave is still going to try the same play. It worked once, why not try it again? But Tiger is already well positioned in lobby. The Uber is popped much closer to the sentry gun this time, and the sentry gets cleaned. The position is much better for Swift at the moment. All of the Nunia boys are clustered on their right hand side. There is very little cap, and now they are trying to cap, and yes. much better from Swift. I recognize the sentry gun would be on the right hand side door, and they went much closer, and then yeah, Nunia was quite stuck away from the point.
Well, next mid, Chokebusters got pretty close to winning the last mid, or at least they had a good start to the mid, so maybe we can see them pull the win out this time. Once again, clears from Chokebusters popping in a little bit early, but they're all really bunched up and choked. They're getting out now. Pappy going for the high palm, getting onto Babs, getting 2 great rockets. Babs is dead, no heals for Swift. Chokebusters' heal advantage should be able to get some more aggression in, but they're just still in choke, kind of clustered up with Polygon with the aggression going down. Chris peeking into that shutter out of sewers, sees Ali on 10 HP. This means that Chokebusters, I think, is just waiting, just getting their heals up and going back in with that Uber. They're not really playing the point that well, Swift. No real stack onto the point, so should be free entry, but Chris overextending goes down to Tiger there. And they still have that Uber, but they really don't want to pop it. This would be a really big way, so they're just slowly, methodically making their way through. Tiger goes down, and now Swift finally gets pressured out of choke, and now Chokebusters will be capping up that midpoint. And actually, seems to maybe be wanting to even get the second.
And now Silentes is on mid. Silentes is going to buy time for his team, and the whole team of Chokebusters falls back for him. And he might be. I thought for a moment he was going to escape by skip jumping onto that rock. That would have been hilarious. But he still bought a lot of time for his team. Babs is already at 50%. And yeah, and Nunia is looking to make a slow push from sewers and to get a bit of ground and use this Uber advantage to just bully players out. But nothing happens. They lose Pappy, and they will most likely have to use it they want to get this point. But no, they lose Crafty Dave as well. It's like the refusal to pop from Daegu to buy the point just cost them this point, and will probably cost them the middle.
Yeah, Lucas is even gonna go down, and Daegu's even gonna get chased. He probably will survive. If Chris hits his rockets, he gets a good rocket direct onto Tiger. So they will keep the Uber alive, but they don't have a demo. And Swift at least does have that as a little bit of an advantage, but they're not gonna go off of it. So we're in a situation kind of similar to the first round. Chokebusters on second, Swift on mid, even Ubers, but this time it won't be a Tiger Sniper, it'll be a Tiger Spy.
An interesting mix-up. That means that Swift will probably play very passive to allow Tiger to go in. I'm interested in seeing what watch he has. I believe it's Cloak and Dagger, but I'm not sure. I need to wait and see. It's definitely Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, after all, they can afford to kill a bit of time. They're up 1 round. Pappy sacks for the play in PC, and Polygon has a lot of room to work with in PC if he wants to, but no, they are not making any distraction for Tiger whatsoever. And now Babs and Ali are showing themselves from sewers. It's the perfect time, and Daegu pops just by spam, and now Tiger is just like, yep, I'm just gonna stay.
He Ubered, and he managed to backstab the Ubered Hems. Well, they eventually get the frag, but this should still be a successful push for Swift. They have all the position and get the cleanups. There's Chris, he actually trading a frag. He's gonna go and die, but now it's 2 players for Chokebusters as opposed to 3 players for Swift, including that ambassador spy from Tiger. So interesting way to cap second, but you know they pull it off.
If he gets a stab now, this is going to be great.
Ooh, Daegu bumps into Tiger, and now they know.
Surely know he's...
Yeah, Daegu has his back to the wall. Nothing really Tiger can do.
No, but like he's in, so he can maybe get a sap when the push happens. So he doesn't really have to do anything fancy at the moment. It depends on how Ale and Polygon want to approach this. Tiger is now moving towards the panic room side. I think I definitely think they are going to do some kind of sync play on the sentry gun. There he goes. He almost got Crafty Dave with a headshot, and poor Degu drops.
Oh no. That is pretty much the worst. The worst thing that can happen. The spy doesn't even go for the backstab, and then you still lose your medic. And now
I
you have
believe that
full Uber.
someone must have screamed that the spy was on the gun, and everyone turns away, turns back, and then Degu doesn't see the spam coming this way. That's sad. And now they are going to wait for Swift are going to wait for Tiger in order to do a clean push. Dave will have time to rebuild this sentry gun, but the hold is just the same as for the two previous rounds, and Swift showed that they were able to break quite nicely. They're going in, they don't need to pop until they are very far on the last. And they just need cap time now. The two scouts are on the point, ×5 on the point, and yeah. Very good job by Ale getting the sentry, locking down the shutter door, then switching sides. Completely through the Nunia boys off the point.
Yeah, very solid play. I very much like the way they approached the Uber advantage. Instead of just pushing in immediately, they just waited, got the spawners, and then just got a solid last push in with full Uber advantage. Now the next mid, Samantha's taking a lot of early damage. Should allow Bustaz to get some more space, and Chris is going to be bombing in very aggressively, get some good rockets onto Babs. Happy is going to try to get some more damage on there. He gets the Babs frag. Tiger going down as well, but then the counter aggression from the soldiers from SVIFT will completely decimate the combo of the Bustaz. It's just Crafty on mid. He gets one, and the players are kind of weak. Samzi's full health, but Ali's 60 HP, so if Crafty wins his 1v1, he has a chance to win the mid, but he loses that 1v1. That will be one mid for Swift once again.
Yep, both mid.
Chris is in. Oh, Chris trying to get
Samzi.
Ooh, he goes for the fast rollout, tries to get the two the splash rockets onto those two players bunched up on the point, but just barely doesn't pull it off.
Yeah. And both medics spawned at the same time, and not a single one chose to opt for the crit Krieg. So we have an Uber standoff on second point. Swift have shown that they are very comfortable, just slow pushing from sewers and getting a lot of space. I feel the ball is in the Bustaz court to figure out a way to deny this space, more efficiently. Otherwise, they are going to get abused once more.
Yeah, this is the third time we've been in this position, and Tiger is again going to go for the off class. He's going to be the one taking the initiative. He's going to go onto Sniper once again. I'm trying to remember exactly what he did last time. I think nothing really happened. They just happened to aggress and force the Uber Sled. Oh, he's completely launched. There's no way he can do anything. He goes down. But Tiger still on that Sniper.
Connects on. Yeah, he connects the body shot on Lucas, I believe. That's a smart move. You sack a soldier, so you know that they will send a counter sack or try to push, but you already have the sniper in position. So now Chris is dead, and Tiger has a lot of space to work with if he chooses so. And yes, Swift roster is going to go sewers and do the exact same thing they did 2 rounds before. Charge the shot. And I'm not a fan of the hold of the Bustaz. They're on the point. I would much rather have them hold very close or take the Papi Uber charge on 2 sewers. There is like 4 players there. It could be an option if they want to, but they are happy to just spam at the moment.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the Daegu just kind of got caught on top of the point as the Tiger sniper play was called, so he's just kind of awkwardly sitting there. And I mean, they are aware of it, but they do have a lot of players on point. Like, they have the scouts right there, so it's not really easy for a soldier to play off of. And actually, Silences will go down in PC, so now Bustaz get to get their own sack, and Happy launching in. He goes straight into PC. he just immediately nopes out of there. Sees 5 bunched up Smith players, and does not trust his chances. I do like what Chokebus is trying to do now. They're trying to pressure through Choke a little bit so that Pappy can make his way out of PC again and get in. But instead, Chris actually will feed in Choke. He will go down, and Pappy's dead. So 2 soldiers down. And now SVIFT should be able to get through. They're in sewers, moving through. Daegu is sitting by one with one leg out of second already. Tiger's in. He has a decent line of sight onto Daegu, but Daegu will pop the Uber and he drops Lucas. It's going to be a solo Uber onto Hems, who's going to try to force the bad Uber. It didn't work last time, but he's getting a Scout Frag and a Demo Frag instead, and Polygon's going to go down as well. So even though, well, that Uber wasn't that great, they didn't force the Uber. They got 3 frag, which is going to buy them some time, but Happy, I think, is going to go down on second. He's actually going to survive on 2 HP, but completely caught here, and, well, this is an interesting situation for the Choke Busters to be in.
Yep, and that is their
really
soldiers.
know how to describe it.
That is their soldiers. They still have time to buff one of the soldiers and go for the force play on Choke, looking at where Babs is. So they have that going for them. They should be able to cleanly escape onto last, unless Tiger hits 1 or 2 magic shots. But no, Swift just goes in. Chris tries to go for the force, but whiffs 2 rockets out of 3. Yeah, nice try though.
Well, this is, I mean, they did buy themselves a lot of time with getting those frags on second, and now it's even Ubers. The Uber has been popped by Babs, and now Daegu will have his Uber just in time, barely with 50 HP. He just barely gets that Uber, and now they're trying to get some frags as the Uber fades from SVIFT, but they didn't really get anything, which is quite a shame because they did have a way better Uber pop as opposed to the SVIFT team, but now even Ubers, they have that sentry being built right now on the left side of that point. And well, this is even Ubers. You know, this is it's gonna be one. This is gonna be the sack game again.
It looks like the place to do a bit of arrow building with Samzi on second. Babs has now a 10% Uber rad, so I would not be surprised if Ale on Polygon would just use again from lobby, try to catch Daegu off guard. But no, they are content. They are happy to just sit with Tiger and give him room. After all, he's hitting like half his shots, which is an impressive feat for a sniper. And now Samzi sacks, so we should expect some kind of counter play maybe from Chris. As I see that Pappy has the battalion backup, I would assume that he is not going to throw his life away. But is Chris going to do anything? I think he tried to pick but got put very low, so this is a reset. Tiger is still sniping. And yeah, it's a very difficult situation to be in for the Choke Busters, but they have the dispenser.
Yeah, I mean, they're at least trying to build up those banners to potentially make a play to push out, but they need to actually charge those, and then they need to find a way to push out. And with the sentry that they have, it's going to be quite difficult to make it work with one less DM class with you. But SVIFT right now is entering lobby. They have a sniper. Actually, some of their players are very aggressively in.
Tiger was going to pick on was picking on the right side of lobby for absolutely free. I believe he had the line of sight onto Daegu there. They need to be very careful. Tiger gets Chris.
Yeah.
No, he rotates to lobby left side again, totally uncontested. That's a very stressful situation to be in, but Pappy recognizes this and promptly switches. Cass gets almost killed by Tiger. He hits absolutely everything.
This is making it very difficult to... yeah, Pappy peeking loses 200 HP, or a little bit under 200 HP immediately. This is... I think Pappy's just trying to peek in and build up that battalions, but every time he peeks, he's losing most of his health. But there he goes. Yep, Tiger goes down. This now is going to allow the Choke Busters players to play a little more aggressively. I see Chris getting in onto Samzi. 3 players down actually, but I don't know exactly what just happened, but Chris and Lucas have been slightly wrecked. So now pushing is a bit harder, but they're going to try it anyway. 3-1.
They need to try it. They absolutely need to try it. They are down 2 rounds and they have the safety of the sentry gun on last, but they are not trying it. They are allowing Tiger to come back as sniper. And here we go again.
Yeah, I'm not quite weird. It's 10 minutes left. They're 2 rounds down, and I mean, I get that they're not really too pressured, but they just lost Lucas. But they're not too pressured yet. There's no massive time pressure yet, so they can sit here and just wait for people to kind of drop. Ali actually going down. Uber having been popped by Daegu, getting forced by Polygon. It's going to force him to try and do something with that Uber, but Uber was in such a bad position. They got nothing with it, and now they're actually going to be arrow building up top, holding very passively, and they're going to try and build it as fast as they can, but I think SVIFT already has their players, so yeah, this
they
is,
should get buffs instead.
Yep.
And there they go, they lose Lucas again. I have no idea if Papi managed to charge his banner. I think he has that might be their chance to hold, because the Battalion's backup is very powerful, but there is so much cap time on the point. Papi gets completely destroyed. Poor guy.
Yeah, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be 3-0 for SVIFT. There's 9 minutes left. They can still do it. I mean, this is still not like do or die territory. Like that's about like when you're in like 6 minutes. They still have at least a slight margin of error, but they definitely need to turn it up. And this mid is gonna be where they need to start. Chris going for the fast rollout right now is gonna get straight onto Silentes. There goes Silentes. He is dead. First frag very early into this mid for Chokebusters. Chris does go down afterwards, but he gets traded out. And now SVIFT is getting pressured out very well by the Chokebusters. And that will be their first mid win off of that very aggressive play from Chris. And they're trying to roll it through Choke right now. It is 4-5 players from SVIFT in. This is going to be slightly risky. They've committed Pappy's life already too. He's completely in. Samzi is going to aggress onto him. He goes down. Players getting traded out, 2 down for SVIFT. Actually, Ali walking onto some 6 is very awkward spot in Choke. He should be able to get cleaned up. That scout needs to hit that pistol shot, but he does not. He goes down, and now it's just going to be, oh, what a shot from Chris! Gets the direct onto Babs. That'll be the drop. And that is what Chokebusters needs right now. Ali, once again trying to get the kill onto Daegu, will go down. And actually, it's like a big full team sack right now. And they do successfully gain control of this midpoint. And Chokebusters do not have the players to contest, but they have full Uber advantage. They had this before, but this time they need to make it work all the way to last.
Problem is they're going to lose the point and get forced. No, they need to stop their push, because they need to put some cap time before they can cross that choke point. So a very good play by the SVIFT boys, I would say, hitting both the Uber charge and the point. Fantastic opportunity for them. Babs is still running regular Uber. Ubers are like 10% in favor of Babs, so almost nothing. But it looks like Nunia is finally going to hold W and push across this choke point. They kill Ale for Hems, which is a good trade, but the spam from the 2 soldiers of SVIFT is enough to repel them to mid, and they are going to reset.
They really should have just committed to that push. I feel like at this point, like, you need to just push in. You need to do something, and instead, SVIFT is going to be pushing through Choke, and they force that Uber. They do force Babs Uber, but Pappy's kind of stuck in. But actually, Silentes gets dropped in at Uber. So does Pappy. That's not a big problem. They've traded players, and Ali going down as well means that they have a demo over SVIFT. They need to just make a solid push through Choke right now, but they're getting spammed.
Not going for some reason.
Yeah, they seem really scared. Like at times they're really like impatient because they realize that they have the time pressure, and then at this point they're kind of scared because it's like an even player push, but they just need to commit to a push. They can't just play kind of half, maybe half in, half not. They need to commit to one and just win the push right out. But yeah,
I agree, but on the other hand, the position that SVIFT uses when Ali dies is very smart and very hard to break. They have 2 soldiers spamming Choke, which does a lot of damage from double rocket spam, and they have 2 scouts on the point, so soldiers can't really engage. It's not really possible to walk from Choke either because of the spam. And now it looks like there is some kind of play going on the PC area. Papi is getting some ground alongside his melee. And Uber charge is popped onto second point, but Babs pops just in time. Can Daegu escape? I'm not sure.
Ooh, it's completely launched. He's gonna get out. Pappy won't. He'll be a dead roamer. And this is, I mean, they forced it, but now They down a player, and SVIFT wants to try and get some space and choke from this. They drop, or a lot of people drop very weak to this, but Tiger's behind lines, getting his frag. Polygon kind of stuck in choke, should be able to get cleaned up by Hems here. He gets it, but oh, he gets the rockets onto Daegu. That should not happen ever, but now Tiger behind Ali and Babs in choke. Maybe able to wreak some havoc. They won't actually, they will just use that uber advantage they have to make it so that choke Bustaz, you know, can't really push all the way because it's now 5 minutes. And this is definitely like do or die territory. Now they need to just successfully push and win every push. Pappy completely launched in, trying to get onto Ali, and Babs does good damage, but goes down in the end. He's kind of sitting in the back there in choke, maybe trying to get some spam onto Babs, force it that way, but that won't work out. And this is going to be a very difficult situation. SVIFT actually even going into mid. Crafty behind, might be able to get some little back cap going. He's actually just going to be sitting in PC, try to get the force onto Babs. He's out of PC, he's onto Babs, gets nothing really. And, well, I mean, that was a good attempt, but that's a big choke from Crafty there.
That's why I play soldier on no scout, you know. When I miss, I can at least hit the ground and do some damage.
Like it, but the Uber has been popped. Babs has been forced finally. Chris going down. The combo. Oh, but there goes Lucas as well. This is Uber just not being popped in time for Daegu to save his players, and now, yeah, they have 2 players down. This is just horrible. Tiger goes down, but Pappy goes out in top. You see, so does Hems. Crafty is still in. Daegu's out. Crafty gets out successfully, but SVIFT is capping second, and it's 3.5 minutes. And
so unlucky for Lucas. The dude has just been destroyed by Tiger for 3 rounds straight as sniper, and now he just hits a stick and a pipe at the same time. I feel for him.
I feel for him too. It has to be quite painful.
Look what Tiger is playing again.
Oh no! Oh no! Not again. This is just mean. He just peeks every angle he peeks. He gets a headshot, and now just. Well, we'll see what happens. 3 minutes left. He's in lobby. Sees Chris. Body shots Chris. Peeks right. He gets a headshot onto Crafty. Yep, he does not in fact miss. Not 100% headshots, but at least 100% hits for now. He's going to peek rollout. And I think he's going to see a Lucas there. Ooh, but he beats the shot.
It's the trap. Yeah, the sticky trap was well placed. But they need to do something. They need to do something. They have no choice. At this point, just YOLOing into lobby and Ubering one soldier could do the job. But they are looking to just practice their hold, which is not bad. Actually, not a bad strategy. But I mean, they could do it in scrims instead and just go for. Yeah.
They won't be playing Process until week 7
that's
anyway.
True.
So.
It's Prolands next week, right?
It's Prolands Gully week 2. So, I mean, practice isn't really needed until a month and a half from now. But I mean, they've instead practiced an Uber trade, which has gone okay until Lucas got full charge body shot by Tiger there, and Tiger, Ali, they're both dead. So this is a successful last push, but 2 minutes left. Seems like Chokebus is just going to try to maybe get a point in, maybe for those potential tiebreakers at the end of the season. Maybe this one round that they can get will definitely help them out if they so want to try and maybe avoid relegation or just get bragging rights, get 5th, and maybe even make playoffs. Who knows?
First game of the season and you're already talking about them being relegated. You're mean.
No, well, I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying that if you be caring about tiebreakers, it's probably either relegation or playoffs. You know, I mean, the fact that my mind went to relegation first rather than playoffs. I mean, that's just you know, I'm not. Look, I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm just a caster. I'm just saying what first comes to my head, but I'm just gonna. Chokebusters is pushing through choke here. They forced the Uber from Babs, but Pappy, with the Uber gone, is dead. Meat Chris in PC is gonna get ganged on by the 2 soldiers from SVIFT. And now Chokebusters with 50 seconds left probably need to abandon the second point. They want to contest it anyway, because there's not really anything productive you can do in 50 seconds from your last anyway, but doesn't seem like they can really do much. They're just bleeding players left and right. Nobody really making a kind of a coordinated effort to push out onto second, and now they're just kind of killing players. They get some good cleanup, but then Salenta jumps up, kills Daegu, and now SVIFT with the player advantage on the point. Cap it up, and the GG. It is 4-0 for SVIFT, successfully winning the first map of this official process. Yeah, well, I mean,
so bad from the truck Bustaz, but I feel like SVIFT just played very solidly.
yeah, I definitely yeah, I do agree that like I feel like SVIFT seems to be playing a very more safe kind of style of play as opposed to what they might have done a little bit during I-61 and pre-I-61 with the old roster. They kind of wanted to play, like they played kind of in a reaction to like how 7 played. They wanted to do like take trades, they wanted to push off of like position advantage and stuff, and they seem to be playing, they're not getting ahead of themselves here. They're just, you know, they get the Uber advantage, they push in when they have 6 up, they have all the heals, and then they go. So
yeah,
solid game from SVIFT, yes.
Yeah, I feel that the truck Bustaz need to put a bit more pressure onto SVIFT to cause them to do some mistakes or force them to take weird decisions, because if they just play standard, they will get beaten the same way onto Badlands. But yeah.
But let's
yeah,
look
we
at
can look at the logs. Do you see these Tiger's stats?
I don't know who this Tiger guy is, but I mean, I think he's moving on up in the world.
12 minutes and 36 seconds sniping, 15 headshots. Okay.
This is just,
okay, dude.
This is every Tiger game. This happened in Arctic Fox's last season as well. Like, you just look at logs and you're just like, all right, Tiger's top fragging, top damaging, he's owning everyone. Well, I mean, we saw that coming, but it still surprises me every time I look at logs. Every time. But outside of that, I mean, let's look at other players. It seems like the soldiers from Chokebusters are doing a good job of putting the damage out, both hitting the 7K mark, which is a pretty solid performance, and then the demos matching each other, at least damage-wise. There's a little bit of a discrepancy when it comes to deaths, but that's also partially because of lost mids and stuff like that. So
poor Lucas had the worst game of his life. he got demolished by Tiger, demolished by Ale during 1 or 2 rebirth charges. It just wasn't his map, but now he's going to do better now.
Yeah, I mean, at least the one thing that I guess Chokebuzzers can look at is that Crafty and Hems did just as good as Samzy. They did as good as one of the Scots. They didn't do as good as Tiger, but they did pretty good as when you look at Samzy's stats. They did.
Yeah.
When kills, damage, it's looking up for them when you're comparing them not to Tiger.
Good. And logs don't tell the whole story. Like scouts can't put a lot of great stats if there is no room for them to push. And SVIFT was very good to keep the Chokebusters team at bay and protect their sniper. So there weren't a lot of fights, of chaotic fights for them to actually use. Yeah. But I feel that if maybe the Chokebusters can play the game a bit more on a faster pace, they should be able to create more opportunities for their scouts probably.
Yeah,
but of course, if they play faster, they expose themselves to Tiger doing the clockwork style of play. So yeah.
Let's see if we can look.
It's up to them.
Some other pages of the logs. We have some other stuff. We see 1 drop from both medics. Pretty equal healing. I mean, that's most of these stats seem to make sense, except for I guess. Actually, no. They're all pretty reasonable. Like no big discrepancy between the medics really. Heals make sense. Yeah, I mean, healing wise, like this was a relatively I don't feel like it was as like one-sided to Swift as it seemed. Like it didn't seem like
Oh,
Choke
it
was
wasn't.
doing that bad, but they just kind of they got edged out like everywhere. But it's definitely not like they are a bad team, which I feel
It's a
like this
matter
match
of
is a
it's a matter of decisions of the team decisions they need to make. They can't just afford to play the way everyone expects a team in 2017 to play, which is just like sack one player, counter sack this player, build with arrows, you know. So they need to be a bit more creative about how they move. On Badlands, it's a good opportunity to play this way because the resupply area is very unique. So you can do cool stuff by pushing on resupply if you have mid, rotating to choke, putting players behind, this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that they will take more ambitious decisions in their game.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, and then yeah, just quickly covering through all the other stuff. But I mean, one thing, yeah, as you said, like that you don't have to play like the way everyone expects like a team to play. Like I remember hearing someone say that like one of the problems that teams have now is that like people kind of assume that a team is always playing like stupid passive. They always, you know, they push on advantage, like big uber advantage or like two-player advantages, and that's all they do. But like a team like Swift is trying to play off of smaller advantages, and they play a bit more solid, and they push players in at times that people don't expect it. So they like they're not like a team like Choke Bustaz might not always be like ready for it. Like they're just like, oh, there's no like we just lost our like our roamers, so they won't be pushing in. They'll just sack a player, and except then they walk through Choke with like multiple players and they get completely caught. So,
The worst part
yeah.
is that Swift doesn't even have to take their whole playbook there because they could just use the standard playbook with Tiger and be effective with it.
Yeah,
And you know what?
yeah.
You know what? Sniper on middle of Badlands is even more obnoxious than on Process.
Definitely. Yes, it is definitely you can definitely you can definitely play the standard playbook when you have one of the best snipers in Prem
Exactly,
right
yeah.
now on your team.
Exactly. Exactly. If you have the better team at the standard play, why should you take risks and play differently? It works for you. Fine. It's up to the opponents to
Yeah.
figure out a way to beat it.
Yeah, it's like when people talk about like how like Epsilon used to be really good like back in the day because they were able to break chokes with like snipers and stuff, and I'm just like, well, you had Flippy on your team, like what? How like
Did they?
duh. Well, I'm talking about like or not. Wait, am I? Yeah, I-52, right? Am I forgetting?
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like.
I thought you were talking about older Epsilon.
No,
with,
no, no, not 49. I'm talking about 52. Like 49 Epsilon just pushed because they were way better like on every single like position. But I'm talking about like I-52 where like in where they just I mean, it's very easy to break stalemates when your sniper just hits every single shot.
Yeah.
Like cuz like that's one of the reasons why like people kind of feel like this meta is boring at times is because people put their like a roamer that isn't that great on sniper and they put him on sniper and then you know you watch the sniper miss headshots for like 10 minutes. But so
Yeah, it
the play
definitely
style isn't
helps.
as yeah. What were you trying to say?
It definitely helps to have Flippy in your team as sniper.
Yes.
Was it at I-52 on a Snakewater game where he just quick scoped someone from like there was like 4 players in front of him, and he manages to quick scope the medic and drop him just in front of the whole team.
Yeah, there's also like Sheep at I-52.
Oh yeah.
Where he just like walks into process last and gets like 4 headshots in a last push. But anyway, enough from this. I've going on a nostalgia trip about old snipers. We're going into Pro Lands, the old map with the new changes, small little changes. But we gonna see this map go with these teams go head to head right now with the first mid and Swift going very aggressive. Lucas has been completely destroyed, just bombed by everyone on Swift. There's some good counter aggression getting onto Babs there. So both medics will be going down. Good stuff from Pappy there to get that med trade there, but SVIFT with that early aggression in this mid will be going over to that second point.
Yep, and Tiger is in the danger zone, he's in lobby, so he can face check someone and just destroy him, but nobody shows up and they will get the Spire despite having no heals. I know it's equally verse on Badlands last. Is there any off class on the Choke Bustaz side? Nope. They are opting to do a forward wall. I don't understand why they would do a forward wall with equal reverse. Only to get back capped, I assume, but let's see. Maybe they hope to catch someone off guard on the doors. Looks like SVIFT is completely aware of the strategy. He's already climbing the spire, ready to attack the battlements from the balcony.
Yeah, I feel like this is a bit of an iffy forward hole too, because they have Crafty Dave on Spy and Spawn, which means like if someone just happens to get through like at any point in this forward hole, like you're completely caught out. You need to immediately go to last. So like if you maybe like if you have all your 6 players, like a forward hold could work a little bit better because you can have like everyone literally holding one of the like separate exits. But yeah, I mean, they went back. Now it's a little bit safer. They're SVIFT trying to get some aggression into top right here. Tiger walking in, Slenta jumping through main, but they both do get denied and go down to the shotgun of Crafty Dave. Counter aggression coming in. Chris going down with Polygon. Goes down to Lucas, who actually followed up on Chris. So 3 picks for Choke Bustaz, and now they're going to be pushing out of Badlands last. Let's see if this is a mistake. They're coming through onto second. Sticks on the point, but they are already on Spire. This is some good acquiring of space right now. Uber has been forced, but great what a direct from Silenz's onto Crafty Dave. He does not get the frag, but that was some flashy play there on the side. But in the end, Choke Bustaz popping their Uber into the combo of SVIFT does not have the desired effect because they lose all their players. Ooh, but they do get Babs. Actually, they could potentially get the cleanup. They do get another one, and now it's Samzy versus a 1 HP Pappy, who is doing a good job of... Oh, he jukes him completely, staying in trash as Samzy peeks into lobby. So Pappy successfully making it out, but I mean...
Got to save the banner, dude.
Yeah, and there goes Lucas. Aggressing outside, this is not really necessary. They're trying to come in with the heals because they do have their medic spawning a little bit earlier, but I feel like this is taking a little bit too much of a risk. But SVIFT actually isn't in. They actually are already holding passively, so, you know, I guess this is just them taking space. So good stuff from Choke Bustaz getting Spire.
Pappy has the banner, they could try to push off, to push with the battalions back up, but it doesn't look like he's charged just yet, so it's just equally versus at the moment, no off class on either side. But what are they doing? They're going Valley with, oh, he does have the banner, and they're going on the worst possible spot on Valley with it. I have no idea how is that going to work, because now they have to pop the Uber charge during the banner, which makes little sense to me. But they get 2 picks, okay. Now Babs is going to use to block the middle. And Degu looks like he's going to escape pretty neatly after killing Samzy. Okay, that worked.
Yeah, that was surprisingly solid. Now they're coming back in. It's even players, so it's a little bit risky, but
Tiger,
SVIFT's
Tiger
getting out. Ooh, Tiger, he's in. He's blocking the point. He gets a one like shot onto Degu, and that's gonna be it. So at slightly unorthodox. Whoa, but there goes Degu. He goes down to Silentes, and now Choke Bustaz have the player advantage. So I feel like they're gonna try and sack a player or 2 in onto Babs, but Babs is in trash. There's little way for any of the Choke Bustaz players to get in. They're just gonna be waiting on Degu to spawn next to Crafty. Gonna switch to Sniper, so they're gonna at least try to play for the force on mid. This should be a successful force, but Crafty's holding very passive. Nah, he's gonna sit like by train, and this should at least be a free force for. Actually, yeah, it's gonna be a free force because Bad is gonna just pop straight into mid and get Chris. Pappy is not caught in action, so 5 players successfully make it out, and but SVIFT is gonna roll this straight through into Resup here. They have 3-4 players in. Scout Samzy is going to be leading the way, but he's going to go down, and now SVIFT, I think, is going to have to backpedal from this push. They already lost a player there. down about 30% Uber, and they're going to be getting out. Now, Choke Bustaz with the full advantage, or not full advantage, but the big advantage are going to be coming in. That case, Silentes goes down, but he gets Lucas.
Lucas just visited the Skybox. The poor dude is having a bad game again on Badlands, but it's not even his fault. I know the Uber is popped onto Hems and Crafty. They managed to kill Ale. Is there any backup threat? No, there is not. But Babs is at 95%. I'm not sure that that the Choke Bustaz will be able to cap this in time, but they will, thanks to the nice distraction provided by Chris. So yeah, they will have to give up the mid for free, but they might be able to get Uber charge to hold Spire depending on how fast Babs and Ale move. Where is Ale? Ale is back into his house, and the push is going to be made on resupply. There is nobody there. Chris wasn't up in time, so they get 3 entrants. And now is a good time to put up the forward hold, and that's what they are going to do.
They should be able, yeah, they're gonna get this Uber in time. It's 90%. They're just now climbing Spire. They're now on top, and they're actually backing out. So, well, all right. I guess they didn't have enough faith in it. So now they're on last. They've even Ubers. SVIFT is just sitting in top lobby. Silentes is hiding on top of the lamp there. And oh, Chris with the rockets onto Babs, and Ali going down as well, with the assumption that they were going for a trade, I think. So that's going to be absolutely catastrophical for SVIFT. They still have Silentes in on top of that lamp, just sitting there. He's just hiding. He's just buying his time here. I think they're kind of... Oh.
And you have Tiger. Tiger is on trash hiding with the green unusual behind the bush.
Silentes has revealed himself though, and they know he's there. He should not be able to get any frags right now. His 10 HP gets cleaned up, and those 2 hiders are dead. And now SVIFT, they're sitting in choke, but they're gonna have to back out. They're gonna get pressured out very quickly. And well, this is a really good position to be in. They have the 2-player advantage of the big Uber advantage. They should be making their way into mid right now. They pop in. Once again, Lucas trying to cut off all these combo players right now, but does not make it in time. Now they need to lock up these choke points so they don't get jumped on. Actually, they get Silentes as well. Semzi on that sniper in choke is going to be trying to take pot shots onto Daegu, but no frags for him just yet. And Choke Bustaz is trying to push in.
Yes, Chris is trying to go behind, but I think he beefed the jump onto drop down and got cleaned. I know Crafty is trying to challenge Tiger, but Tiger hits the lightning gun pistol shots and cleans the Choke Bustaz scout. I know it's a very bad position for Lucas and his boys. They are back to their choke, and they will give up the middle probably for free. But they are 85% Uber. It looks like Ale and Babs are going to push from choke, and it looks like we're going to have an Uber exchange on 2 seconds.
Yep, they're coming in. Pappy facing Ali straight in the face. Both medics will pop at around the same time. A lot more multis coming from Babs, but won't really make much of a difference. Yes. But actually, regardless, the combo players, Hems and Pappy, will just go straight in and completely annihilate the combo there. They all go down. It's just Ali. That's actually a great follow-up. I was kind of skeptical on how that would work out, but they catch him just barely in time.
Lucas almost kills Tiger. It was like 2 seconds away from killing everyone on the forward spot. But he's going to buy a lot of space for his team, because I believe some players of SVIFT had to backspawn. And Tiger and Silentes are breaking havoc onto the house, dueling Crafty Dave now on mid and forcing the Nunia squad to back. It's a shame because they were on a very good position to get the Spire. But Tiger is still alive and dueling Hems. Hems has the buff, Tiger doesn't, and Tiger wins, okay. And now Pappy has to pop the banner, but he can't make anything happen. And now the Uber charge is popped. Nunia is putting everything they got into this fight, trying to clinch onto this middle point, but it doesn't look like it's working. Pappy is now dead. Babs is at 95% Uber charge. Yeah, it looks like they will get the Spire for free now.
Yeah, they will be. Not much that
Tiger,
Choke
man.
Bustaz can do except Crafty, who's in house there. It's gonna go down. It's gonna feed to Silentes. But yeah.
House against soldiers is always difficult.
But, you know, you can always try the old pass the brain strat. Some soldiers can get caught by it, but Silentes was ready. Well, he wasn't ready, but he got the frag anyway. He got the W. That's all he needed. But now it's gonna be about even Ubers, but the pop goes very early from Babs into top right. But Daegu commits to it. But he has 98%. He's gonna pop. He's not gonna go down. Maybe SVIFT not recognizing that Daegu did not have it yet. Samzy on 7 HP gets out of main. This is quite.
How does he survive? I don't understand how he managed to survive. Very well played by the German scout. I know it's a 5-on-5 situation with equal Ubers, and it's still 0-0. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I expected better from that Uber from Choke Bustaz. It was so much better, and they should have just been ready to completely surround those un-Ubered players. But they almost all make it out successfully, and now it's even Ubers. But SVIFT is actually building a lot faster than Choke Bustaz is. Oh, he had a spy.
Look at Silentes.
Well, it seems like they are they trying to do a distraction play for the spy? Yep, they do. There is Lucas. He's dead. Silentes gets cleaned up by the sentry. Get that demo pick. I don't think that they will be pushing off of the demo pick, even though it's pretty big. It's still quite difficult to do much from, but actually they're gonna do a little bit of a point play. Tiger edges the point.
Now
Ali trying to get some point or some cap or some stickies on the point. Sort of jumping in, and I just see people jumping in and dying over and over, and now SVIFT is gonna sit outside.
Yep, and they are still perfectly fine to hold because this is Badlands. Wouldn't it be funny if Polygon respond as a spy and just finish the cap?
Oh, that
no,
would
he's going
be,
to go soldier.
That would have been quite the the event if that would have worked out.
But yeah, the blue boys have actually a pretty good hold on this last. They do the forward hold very well. Their last hold is pretty solid.
Crafty
Looking
Dave's shotgun is pretty good.
Yep. Miniman, the best class in the game.
Yeah, it's going quite well. The sentry has gone down, so Crafty Dave has to build it somewhere else. Maybe put it in the copyrighted sheepy spot behind point, but he's gonna put it in top left instead. That's a pretty decent spot as well.
Chris is going for maybe an espionage move. Now he's in spawn checking weapons apparently.
It's boring. He doesn't have the balls to. Oh no, he's actually going. No.
But Babs popped, so he's going to stay. He's going to stay soldier. The counter Uber has been popped by Daegu, and nothing happens. But I hear the battalions popped by Papi. Which door is he going to choose? He's going to try to go top and hit a million sticky.
Or he gets two rather, he gets Polygon and Ali. He's trying to chase Babs as well, and Silentes peeking bottom left also goes down to Chris. So this is 3 picks, and they're already outside. The spawners are not even close to coming in for SVIFT just yet, because this is a new pro lands. You can push out of last. Choke Bustaz have shown how you can push out, pop that banner, or that battalions, get those 2 frags, catch those 2 players, and they're on second. But they're really excited. They're going into mid, but the spawners are in, and I feel like they're maybe biting up too much here. They might not be able to do this. Silentes gets the frag onto Daegu, and yeah, they're biting off more than they can chew. That's the phrase I was looking for. And yeah, I think they should have just sat on second. This is gonna probably result in SVIFT getting a full Uber charge last push. And
to be honest, it's quite unlucky because like Lucas and one scout put Silentes to like 10 health before he gets arrowed for 150 and kills Daegu. So yeah, you can ban the crossbow and help Nunya push mid. No, it's full Uber advantage, and there is no pyro on the side of the Choke Bustaz. The sentry game goes down. Ali locks down the top left. There's 2 scouts on the point. Nothing you can do. The spawn times have been reverted to the old Badlands version. 1-0 for SVIFT.
Nope. It's a 15-minute round. That's a very good time for choke buses to survive, I guess.
We are not playing payload, mate.
Yeah, I mean it's I didn't mean to phrase it that way, but it just worked out this way. So anyway, next mid. Let's see what they can do. Not actually as aggressive of a mid from Swift this time. But Pappy goes down. Chris getting the frag onto Babs and Hems onto Salentes. The heal advantage for choke buses won't be enough though. Their scouts are alone on Valley. Lucas is a little bit disconnected from Daegu, and this might cause Daegu to die. Lucas trying to fight, but there goes the rest. The two soldiers, or the soldier in the demo coming in, all bombing onto Daegu, will give the Uber advantage to Swift. Swift capping up mid and should be capping up second soon.
Nice aggression by Ali on Polygon there, catching Daegu on the stone bridge. All thanks to I believe it was Samzi blocking the exit of Daegu on the shutter door. And now will the choke busters opt for a forward ult? They could have time to do it, but looks like Babs is already on Spire, so they are just arrow building on second, and they will take lobby from balcony. Really neat. Do we have arrow building on the side of Daegu? I don't think so, but the Ubers are equal nevertheless. The loose cannon is out for Lucas, very good weapon on Badlands. Uber is popped first on Ale, counter pop onto Lucas, but where is Papi? I don't believe Lucas is going to be able to chase onto top lobby. No, he will not.
That scout overextending though. That's two scout picks for choke busters. They do lose Hems, and that won't be enough of an advantage to push out of the ever so hard to push out of Pro Lens. Badlands last. Chris is aggressing a little bit. They're trying to feel out lobby, maybe establish a bit of a forward hold, maybe catch out somebody hiding. They do get Salentes, so objective accomplished in that sense. Now they are sticking up the shutter. They're doing a bit of a forward hold. I don't know how long they're going to be keeping this up, if they want to hold this for the entire time. Actually, they won't, because Crafty Dave on NG is here as well. The sentry's still up, but Salentes is on Spy, and the choke busters players are backing out.
Yep, because the forward ult position is nice, but it doesn't help you to push Spire. So all it does is just slow down the attackers, but in this case the attackers are already up one round. They don't really need to contest the choke busters onto top lobby, so there is no forward sticky trap that I am aware of.
He's on to Daegu. That's the easy backstab. Hen saw him just before it got to the backstab, but he could not kill him in time, and now, well, full Uber advantage for Swift. They're Ubering once again through top right. Immediate pop from Babs. No players dropped just yet. Pappy goes down. Hems is fighting a bunch of Uber players, and he should be cleaned up soon as well. But Polygon will be the first for Swift to die. Spawning medic is in. That will be Daegu. Samsi's on the point, or on the ground rather. Ali as well. And now Ali is completely caught here. He's going to go down, and the rest of Swift is backing off. We do have Chris peeking into top lobby, seeing if he can find anyone still in. But
nobody expects Spies multiple times in a row now that Sideshow is not playing anymore.
Oh, there he is. Woo! And well, that is just awkward. Goodbye. Well, that definitely looked like a Sideshow Spy play that second time. So this is the third time, and now Daegu will definitely not see it coming. He didn't see it coming the first time, but the third time, that's the...
Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know what the logic is behind that, but you know.
Come on. He's going soldier. And Ubers are equal, so yeah.
Well,
Tiger tries to make a play again. He does play like clockwork, but he could opt to play sniper. Sniper is quite powerful onto Badlands last. Doesn't look like any of the Swift player is going to do anything guts right now. All that thought, Silentes is peeking for free onto bottom right, but chooses not to commit. Okay. Is Tiger sniping? Yes. So Papi is trying to pick main in order to charge his banner, so he might be able to spot Tiger before we can get a line of sight onto anyone else like Lucas. Papi is sick of the stalemate apparently and decides to pop the banner first.
Yeah, he wants
Let's
to
see.
just peek in, get some free spam in, try to force that Uber.
Difficult play to make, but I guess the
Yeah.
banner is relatively free, so he can afford to.
Yeah, it's about 9 minutes, so yeah, they need to just try and make some plays, but Tiger's still on that sniper, and I kind of want to see what he's doing, because, I mean, last map, we saw what Tiger could do, and that is 15 headshots in, like, what was it, like 7 or 5 minutes? I don't remember what it was, but the important thing is that he's peeking top left. He sees Hems. Goodbye, Hems. He's been full charge body shot off this server. He sees Chris in top right. He misses that shot. He's going to probably go for a little bit of a more aggressive. Actually, SVIFT is in top right. They are taking that space that they are given by the choke busters. They're trying to spam out that sentry. They do force Babs' Uber. This is a very interesting situation because Solenta's just died trying to force the Uber from Daegu. Ali goes down to the loose cannon of Lucas. And now SVIFT is outside. They don't have any Uber advantage at all. They do have the heals up, but
They have Tiger as sniper.
oh, they do have
Choke.
the Tiger sniper, and he is sitting in choke. This should be a force if he gets, if the choke busters get a little bit too complacent and peek into him. But they make it through. The Uber does get popped kind of unnecessarily. I don't know why Daegu popped there, but
And there's
Semzi
Silent
goes down.
trying to block Spire maybe against 2 scouts. He blocks!
this is very interesting because they can easily clean up Ali and Solenta. They just need to go back, clean these players up. Demo should be dead. Kill Ellie. He's on under stone. There it is. So now they have the 2 players. They do not have Uber advantage, but they do have the players to try and make some space and choke and then force it. I hope that they will elect to do this and not play scared of the Tiger sniper.
Puppy's
There goes
going
Chris.
for it.
Chris is in. Oh, and there
Nice,
forces
Chris.
Babs Uber, and this is exactly what you want to see. Choke busters go out. This Uber is completely useless. Polygon actually kind of caught, but won't get cleaned up in time. But the Uber advantage is here for choke busters, and they will be pushing into mid.
It looks like Papi is going to go from house, and the entirety of the SWIFT team is on the first train. This could be very good, but the juggles from the red soldiers completely screw over the attempt at catching the combo from the choke busters. Ali was actually jumping onto Spire, got cleaned by 2 players, and now one of the soldiers, I believe it's Chris, is dealing with Tiger. It's a very good situation to be in for the choke busters once more. 2 dead. Babs is going to have Uber, but again, this is a very good opportunity for Chris to maybe force. Chris puts rockets onto Polygon, but Crafty Dave delivers
really
and force.
close. You might get cleaned up. You might. He won't get chased that well. And actually, great air shot onto Polygon. He's completely launched. He's gonna go down. This is great. The Uber, they forced the Uber, and then the players that they tried to sack in have, yeah, just got completely neutralized. They're gonna maybe wait on. Nah, they won't be waiting on the crafty spawn. They're just gonna go straight to choke. Lucas is kind of weak, kind of ahead of the rest of the team.
Nice shot by Chris once again.
They should be able to make it through. Tiger
The problem
is
is that Chris is on Spire, and so Tiger has gone from choke unspotted, and now he's on mid.
Yeah,
But he decides to not come. Lucas was actually pre-spamming the choke. I think they knew Tiger was behind, and Tiger just back spawns.
Yes.
So yeah, equal levels onto last. It's going to be the first time that we see how SWIFT holds Badlands last.
Well, they hold it with a pyro. They completely neutralize the Uber. They do get Tiger eventually does lose his life, but actually they keep everyone alive. Nobody getting cleaned up right now, and Pappy's gonna pop that banner. Yeah, and they're gonna go straight back in. They're gonna go top right, rotating over. You're gonna try and get this roamer on the right side. Slentus, he goes down. Scout Semzi will get cleaned up in spawn, and this is gonna be 2 frags. They do lose Chris afterwards. Scout on top right for SWIFT. Gonna try and do some damage. Hems goes down. Crafty, Pappy, but they're playing the point, and Daegu and Lucas are alone on the point. Tiger contesting it, but he goes down, gets piped in the face, and Ray, well, I don't know exactly how great. Well, actually, it was a pretty solid push from Chokebusters. I'm being really critical, but that was actually, I very much like that push.
I really like what Papi is doing with the banners. It works very well. He leads the push very well. And now we have a game on our hands. That's only 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And once again, both teams opt to do a slope rollout. Chris is going into the enemy shithouse, totally uncontested, and jumps onto Bab's heads.
Yeah, path is completely dead now. This is the heal advantage once again for Choke Bustaz, but their positioning again is really bad. But the soldiers completely collapsing, do get Daegu, but they both go down. And this should be a good cleanup for the players from Choke Bustaz. Ali is really weak and just Tiger, but Tiger is 1v1ing. Crafty will win that, but now it's Lucas versus Ali. Lucas has 100. He survives that. Ali with 3 HP cannot survive that sticky. And this will be a mid-win for Choke Bustaz. It's 4 minutes. And, I mean, they had a pretty creative way of pushing into last time with the repush. So I hope that they have some cool little strategies to make their way onto second. But right now, they're on the 10% disad, but they are in control of mid. So.
He's using
that's good,
gunbots,
you know?
so no battalion backup shenanigans for the moment. There is no sniper on the field either. And so far the plan for the Choke Bustaz seems to be nothing at all. But Chris is looking into house, doesn't see anyone. It just looks like they are waiting to get the rebel shot and then do something. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you can wait it out a little bit. It's a tie right now, and well, Tiger on the side there trying to be a little bit creative, goes down. The Crafty, well, that did not exactly work out. They're trying to put some more pressure on the flank here. Choke Bustaz, Chris and Pappy and Crafty all peeking in. Solhenta's in the spawn actually. This is very good. A good attempt to make their way in here, but there's a bunch of sticks by Resup, and the spawners are coming in soon. I think they just need to back off. They can't really get in from this point. At least they don't seem to be willing to just commit this far. And Crafty and Tiger are actually in a bit of a weird 1v1 inside there for.
He's on last actually. He's going to kill Silentus.
Oh no, but he finds Tiger, discovers him. He goes down eventually. Good attempt. But 2.5 minutes, and I think Choke Bustaz want to just wait, and then probably just get for like a no pressure push later on.
Yeah,
like,
they could even play for the. Do we have a pause?
We have a pause.
Yeah.
I
was about to say that Choke Bustaz could even play for the golden cap and get that 1 point on the on the table of the Premiership division. You know. Wouldn't be so bad of a result against SVIFT, would it be?
I feel like this is like the most TF2 thing ever, right?
What,
like
parking the bus to get the point for the golden cap?
No, I mean we have 2 minutes left. We're in a stalemate, and they pause, and now we're just like, all right, well, I mean,
there's no snipers on the field at least.
Yes.
Look at those stickies in front of Lucas. Aren't they beautiful?
Also, I would like to give a big shout out to all the viewers who just now are tuning in since the Antic Weep Tunnel Tactics game just ended. So everyone now wants to watch some gameplay on the other channel, but there's no gameplay right now. But it's fine, it's fine. You can look at these cool little stickies. You know, you see Ali's sticky going straight for I think that's Lucas, and Lucas is sticky going straight for Ali. You know, that's
what a nice symmetry.
But yeah, I mean, it's just 2.5 minutes, right? So at this point, I think both teams are just going into, or like assuming that they're probably just gonna be going into a golden cap. Like at this point, unless one of the teams completely throw their holds, like
look at Chris. Look at the uncomfortable position Chris is in.
Oh, this is. Oh, I didn't even notice this. What is this? Actually, well. Does Chris doesn't know that Tiger is here, or does he?
I have no idea. I assume he doesn't, because no one of his teammates is looking towards the house, so he's in for a treat when it resumes.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. And then Crafty, I think, is still dead. I think he has like 5 seconds to spawn. So, I mean, this could potentially be a push. I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit iffy. It depends on exactly how Swift wants to approach this. But Chris, he's gonna. Oh, he actually gets the frag off the Tiger. Well, that is not exactly the outcome we expected, and we're out of the pause. And it's actually going to be the Choke Bustaz that have the player advantage, and they're going to be Looking into house, they're posting some players in here. Lucas getting the sticky trap up, and it's getting shot away by Slentus. But Pappy and Chris trying to once again do their magic onto Slentus. Slentus gets pressured pretty well, but no frag. But they do get Crafty behind. He's edging that point, trying to go for the distraction because the SVIFT players are actually on mid. It's just Crafty fighting Slentus. Another scout on the Spire. He does eventually go down, but the Uber has not been popped. They've 3 fragging classes left to make that 2. It's Daegu and Choke alone. They're trying to cap the point, but that soldier goes down. They need to contest mid. This is just horrible. Samzy even drops down and gets Daegu there.
What was this play? I don't understand what happened.
I can't really. I don't know what to tell you.
Did they just throw the game?
Well, it's not full Uber advantage, right? It's a minute, and it's 40%.
50%, yeah.
I mean, they're doing some arrow building in spawn right now, trying to at least get some of this disadvantage back. And oh, this is where they paused apparently at 50 seconds. So now we're going to be seeing the actual unpause. It's 45 seconds. This is the push that they have been waiting for like 4 minutes. And let's see what happens. Actually, the arrow building has done a good job of just equalizing this Uber advantage. So it's going to be an even Uber push. 30 seconds left for SVIFT to try and get this, or to prevent this golden cap. They get the sentry from Crafty Dave, but the Uber has now faded, and they can't really rotate to the other side. So it's 20 seconds. And I think SVIFT is just going to go for a Hail Mary push. They need to go for it. There's no real reason not to. Polygon goes down immediately on the right side. Slentus gets pressured pretty well as well. Pappy goes down, but Samzy's on the point! Nobody's contesting it! They finally get onto the point, but now they're going to get classed upon by all the SVIFT players. And it seems like, oh, but the drop from Daegu gets the saws, and in the end, SVIFT will pull out the map win. That's a very close push, but unfortunately, 2-1 for SVIFT. And Bustaz just couldn't keep it together. They got a little bit too stressed when Samzy got on that point, and they just all went down and got collapsed on. And well,
classic Badlands.
Yeah. Well,
and this is the second time on I believe the top 5 versus Lego game finished the same when Badlands, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
The cap, the 30 seconds left cap.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah,
do we have some logs?
Yeah, let's look at some logs. Let's see if we can find ways to make Bustaz feel a little bit better about this loss. I mean, like, going into this match, I was assuming like this was definitely going to be a loss for Bustaz on paper, but I mean, I feel like they've done quite well. I mean, 2-1.
They did.
It was it was all on the line, and I mean, looking at the logs, it's definitely a very good job. I mean, look at the soldiers. They did quite solidly on the last map, but now Pappy, Chris just topping the scoreboard, both putting out tremendous damage and frags, and Pappy even doing a good job even staying alive as well. Very solid play for both of them, and Lucas seemingly playing better than Ali as well, even though, you know, he had
I liked what he did with the loose cannon. Very effective on last holds. He was able to lock on the point for a fair amount of time each and every hold. So yeah, very good performance by Lucas, much better than on the first map. And yeah, Tiger opted to snipe a little bit less. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but yeah, in the end, it looked like the SVIFT boys didn't have the keys of the map as well as they had on process. It looked like their pushes on process were a bit more refined, and this alongside the better hold from the Bustaz put us in a very good game. That's the second great game we have on this Prolands map so far. So yeah, it looks like the change are very beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Bustaz had a lot of success pushing out of last at times. Like they just booked it immediately, and even you could see it with the spawn timers that, like, you know, when they got the second and on the point, they wouldn't just like SVIFT wouldn't have 6 players up already. They, you know, they like when they lost those 3 players they just it worked great. So the changes seem to be very beneficial, and unfortunately, yeah, they it wasn't enough for the choke buses to pull out the W, and not even getting the golden cap, so no points. But I mean, this is
Have
a
the
very
satisfaction of
yeah.
having put a very good show for all of our viewers, which is priceless.
I mean, this has to be a good sign for them as well in general. I mean, this is like a team that's definitely seen as like a top 4 Prem team at least. Like, you know, we don't know exactly how far up they will be in the tables, but at least top 4. Like, this is definitely going to be a team we'll be seeing in the playoffs again. And they played them very close. They didn't do that great on process. Like, they just got edged out everywhere. And on Prolens, they did really well, and it went down to this like the last second, and I'm very excited to see what the choke buses will be able to pull off in the future. Maybe if they had Rat Slayer instead of Lucas, they would have even
Shots
won.
fired.
Well, no, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not. What? Why do you have to do this to me, man? Look, I'm not being rude. I'm not saying Lucas is bad. I'm saying Lucas is a merc, so there's not as much synergy with him as opposed to Rat Slayer. You know?
Don't feel so attacked, man.
I feel extremely attacked. I don't appreciate all this. You're trying to imply that I am trash talking the teams we're casting here.
A little bit of drama just spices things up.
You know, I don't want to go to Sweetland and then, you know, get threatened to get stabbed by like every single invite team. You know, I don't want to make enemies. I want to make friends. You know.
Everyone loves you already, HiipFire.
Do they?
Yep, I'm pretty sure they do.
Thank you.
And on a side note, yeah, things are looking good for the choke busters because next week they will face a little weaker team, which is Lego. Whereas SVIFT are on for a big treat because they will face Antic. So yeah.
Antic is definitely seeming to be an interesting team this season. They're definitely like looking to be a contender. I mean, they've been looking like a contender like last season, but last season, you know, they had a kind of a tough break, but this season it seems like they've gotten their stuff mostly together. They have new players, they have old players coming back. This is definitely going to be a challenge for SVIFT, and I mean it's both teams, you know, playing with new rosters, so it'll be quite exciting to see. And
hey, the season looks very open indeed. Not a real true favorite above all competition, so yep, we're on for good matches again.
Yeah, the choke busters playing Lego will be interesting as well. They should be able to do pretty decently against that team. Lego is also a top 4 team, but I don't know. It's a bit. I mean, they do have Sorex now on Scout, which is quite interesting. But I'm not gonna ramble too much on about that match. I'm kind of curious. So we won't be doing interviews, unfortunately. We will not see any interview banter. So I guess do you have anything left to say, Twiggy, or do you want to just do shout outs and then call it a day?
Not really. I think we can. I'm happy to just go now.
Alright, well then just some really quick shout outs here. I guess we'll just do shout outs, and then I guess Beater can't really do shout outs. So I'll give a quick shout out to chumtoad.net, my team. Shout outs to HiipFire.com. Shout outs to Gatson for getting 0 kills in a puck champ. I will never forgive you. And that's it for me. Oh, shout out to Beater for producing. Well, Twiggy, what are your shout outs?
Yep, I have a shout out to make to Equal, Martin and Shog, and also shout out to Tip of the Hats, who is going on this weekend for charity. So yep, that's it for me.
Alright, that's gonna be it for us then. Hope you enjoyed this cast, and hope you will be tuning in for the next week of Prem Officials. So.
Goodbye, fellas.
Yep. Whoop, whoop.